Head to Safeway this week and go straight to the deli for these amazing $5 deals all week long for members. Chicken tenders original or Nashville hot, macaroni and cheese, JoJo potato wedges, chicken nuggets 20 count, all-American footlong sandwich, made fresh daily and Reese's, American Classics original potato or macaroni salad, 48-ounce serving size, all for just $5 each. That's right, just $5 each. Visit Safeway.com for more details. See you in the aisles.
So I just saw a commercial that said, some people look like they are born leaders, but there's no such thing. You got to work at it, right? And it showed people like training, lifting tires. I didn't really hang around to see the whole. I think it was a commercial for the armed forces in some way. Shout out to the armed forces. Appreciate y'all service. And I started thinking about this concept of born leaders, and I'm sitting there. This was literally like 10 minutes ago. I'm sitting there and I'm mulling it over, like born leader. Like that's a concept and a word. It's a phrase that I've used before. I've even called my 11-year-old daughter a born leader. I've told her that to speak power into her. And watching this commercial, it said some people seem like they're born leaders, but there's no such thing. To be a leader, you have to work at it. And I started thinking like, man, what do I feel about that? Maybe I should stop using it. And then I thought, no, I still don't agree. Like, I feel like there is a such thing as a born leader. I feel like some people are born with the raw materials to be a leader, right? Some people do have it. So in this episode, I want to talk about this tension between being a born leader and becoming a built leader. Because honestly, I think it can be both, right? Here's the thing. Even if you are born with the raw materials, it doesn't mean you're going to be it doesn't mean you're going to end up being a leader. Doesn't mean you're going to be great, right? You still got to work at it. You still got to put in that work. You still got to lift those tires, essentially, right? Flip those gigantic truck tires, right? So the idea that I want to talk about is how people assume charisma, confidence, extroversion is going to equal or cook out, bake into being a leader naturally. I do think a lot of those characteristics are what it does take to be a leader. So if you're naturally born with it, it's kind of easy, right? It seems like it's going to be easier, but I do think that's dangerous. So that's where I do agree with the ad. I think it's dangerous, right? I think it's dangerous because if we feel like that's all it takes is being born with the look, then that's going to discourage people who don't look the part. And not everybody who's going to succeed or end up as the end product is born looking the part, right? There's a lot of people who are born with the genetic makeup to grow to be 6'8", 250 pounds, but they're not going to be LeBron James. They're not going to be an NBA player. They may not make it to the NBA, right? So one of the things I want to talk about is this idea of having the raw materials, right? I want to acknowledge a truth. Some people are born with certain traits. Energy that galvanizes other people, natural fearlessness, strong communication presence, right? Those are raw materials that it does take to be a success as a leader. But raw materials is really just potential. You still got to put it together, right? It's not reality. It's not the cooked final product, right? So I want to share how I noticed this in my daughter, right? I noticed that, even as she was born and even up until now, right? She it's kind of funny, right? She has this tendency to leave us, right? She's not conducive to helicopter parents, right? She doesn't want parents floating around her. She wants to go be on her own and prove to herself that she can do things, right? And she jumps into things. She's been in commercials. She's been in plays. She's been a singer in plays. She's been an actor in plays, and she jumps into these things, and she naturally has people gravitate to her, and she can take center stage in a natural space. So much so that she started to kind of eschew it, right? She started to kind of move past it. Like, I don't even want to do that anymore, right? She's like, I don't want to, that's not the space I want to be in anymore. So it's almost like she ran so fast as a young person that she went past the sweet spot, right? And so we don't want to force her back into those things, but I do want to empower her. I don't want her to lose that power. So when she does feel the passion for it, I want her to remember what she has already shown the capability of doing, the natural raw elements that she's always shown that she was born with. So I do remind her, you are a born leader. You have the charisma. You have the extroversion. You have a natural fearlessness. You have an energy that galvanizes others. You have a strong communication presence, right? I don't want to force you to use it, but whenever you do choose to use it, I want you to remember strongly that you have that. You got the raw materials. And there's a lot of leaders that I've coached that have that spark too, right? But why do they need that active coaching, that energetic coaching? Because the spark takes discipline. It needs follow through. It needs guidance to refine that energy. If we can look at it like raw materials need fuel. They're like fuel, but you need an engine and you need direction. A lot of folks may not have that engine and they may lack that direction. And then the fuel is at risk of just burning up, right? Leadership is not about titles. It's about habits. Habits. Like I said, there's a lot of people born with the genetics that are going to make them 6'8". It's going to make them 250, 260, maybe even 7 feet tall. But it will not make them Kareem Abdul-Jabbar or LeBron James or Tim Duncan without the leaders, without the sharpening, the guidance, the work ethic, the engine, clarity, direction. So even as a leader, you might be born with the extroversion, the ability to galvanize folks, that natural charisma, but you're still going to need to sharpen your communication skills, your emotional intelligence, clarity and direction, discipline, consistency. So there's still work that you have to do. So again, I go back to my original premise. I do think it's both. A lot of people are born leaders. Not all of them end up leaders in life. A lot of the leaders in life are not born leaders. They're built leaders, right? Because all leaders, whether you're born that way or not born that way with the raw materials, it's forged in practice, not just born in personality. It's forged in practice, routine, through the fire. Born versus built. It can be both. Right. And when we see people that are born with it, we have to remind them of the energy, the raw materials that they've been blessed with. But when you see people not born with it, you have to remind them that they're not out of the game. They can be built into whatever they like to be built into. People who maximize both of them seriously win. But the people who only lean on being born and they don't try to build it, they waste it. And the people who aren't born with it, and I think I'm talking to a lot of us out there, people who are not born with a lot of those raw materials, but they still put in the work, they can surpass even the people who are naturally gifted with it. Leadership, it's like music. Some people are born with perfect pitch, but they may never sell a record, right? And plenty of legendary artists didn't have the gift of perfect pitch when they were born, but what they had was discipline, reps, and a willingness to keep sharpening, right? Some leaders are born with the spark, but every leader is made in the sharpening, every single one of them. So I want to encourage you out there. If you got the raw materials, do not waste them. Work them. And if you don't feel like you're a natural, don't count yourself out. Be rocky. Leadership is a choice. It's built into habits. Sharpen your edge, and you can surpass the naturals who are out there coasting. Here's my challenge this week to all of my folks out there, whether you feel like you're a born leader or not. Pick one area to sharpen. Communication, clarity, consistency, and put in some reps. Because that's how you go from spark to fire. So thank y'all for rocking with me on this episode. If this hits you, share it with somebody you think has the spark, or hey, somebody you know is building regardless, because leadership is meant to multiply. So multiply this, share it with your folks. Let them know about this podcast. Tell them where they can go find it and listen to it. And holler back at me next week, man. I love y'all. Peace.
Head to Safeway this week and go straight to the deli for these amazing $5 deals all week long for members. Chicken tenders original or Nashville hot, macaroni and cheese, JoJo potato wedges, chicken nuggets 20 count, all-American footlong sandwich, made fresh daily and Reese's, American Classics original potato or macaroni salad, 48-ounce serving size, all for just $5 each. That's right, just $5 each. Visit Safeway.com for more details. See you in the aisles.